much money do you actually need to be financially free? This is going to be different for everyone, but let's walk through some quick and easy math. Okay, so for step one, we need to figure out how much money we actually need to live per year. This number can actually be less than what you're currently spending right now because you have to think about how much money are you spending to earn a paycheck? How much are you spending on gas and parking to go to work, licensing fees, wine because you're so fucking stressed after a long day, vacations because you're trying to escape? Are your student loans paid off? Is your house paid off at this point? Financial experts usually say you need about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income in retirement or financial freedom for those reasons. So let's say you determine you need $40,000 a year to live. Then what you're going to do is calculate using the 4% rule, and we are going to multiply that $40,000 a year by 25. This gives you $1 million. So essentially, using the 4% rule, this means that you would need $1 million in traditional stock market investments to be financially free. The premise behind this rule is that because on average the stock market goes up by 10% a year, you can safely withdraw 4%, so 40,000 is 4% of $1 million per year without risk of running out of money. Because ideally, the value of your investing account is going up more than what you are actually taking out each year to live. You can actually hit financial freedom faster with less money if you find ways to increase your cash flow or passive income from other areas. So for example, one of my investments is a MIC. It's a mortgage investment corporation. It pays me out 10% cash interest every year. Because I get a straight 10% interest payment, I don't have to use the 4% rule. I'm making 10% instead of 4%. Because it's so much higher, you can get to financial freedom for less. Now, I would never recommend putting all of your eggs in one basket, but for the sake of this example, okay, let's say you needed to get to $40,000 a year in income. You have a 10% annual cash return. You would only need $400,000 invested to get that $40,000 a year versus $1 million invested in the stock market. This is why I don't just invest in the stock market. I also invest in real estate that cash flows. I invest in mortgage investment corporations that pay me interest. I invest in real estate investment trusts that pay me out monthly as well, in addition to like dividend paying stocks. So all in all, I make 6 figures a year passively now. And I'm able to get paid out a higher percentage because I've invested in alternative assets as well. However, you still need stocks for that growth long term. You still need to be thinking about inflation long term, but that's another story for another day. If you want to learn more about money and creating passive income and winning with money and becoming a rich bitch, I've got you. We have a ton of free trainings to help you get started, or you can apply to work with me personally, link in bio.